She's got it, good turnover.
Oh, there's a big scrap on the floor, got stuck in there. It's ended up with a penalty for England. And Scotland talked in the build-up to this match, Heather, about they wanted to play in a different style. It was all about speed, and so far they are being slowed down.
Yeah, very much so there. And Leah Bartlett just sort of slowing down herself before taking the contact. And they'll be looking to get that finer detail right.
Well, you can just see the crowd behind the posts. Absolutely packed here at Kingston Park. They are loving it as the ball comes down now from Aitchison. Byrne. Packer. Aldcroft. There's numbers on the far side if England can get it out quickly. Scotland need to recycle. Move that defensive line round. Push to the far side. Byrne again, always in that first receiver slot for the time being. Cleal. Support from Aldcroft. They were trying to just disguise slightly where that ball was going. Packer! Oh, she knew to get that ball back. She didn't quite have the strength to go over. Reid passed out wide. Amy Cokayne! Amy Cokayne scores tries. That is just what she does. 32 now for England. We last saw her scoring 3 in the World Cup final. That is her bread and butter. She throws in the ball occasionally as well.
I mean, bread and butter, she is hanging in the 5-metre line like all good hookers. Heather's here laughing, but do you know what it is? This ball starts from her line-out, doesn't it? And what England are doing really well is their stretch in Scotland. Holly Aitchison, 7th background, takes on players, making ground. Lucy Packer is doing a fantastic job of moving this ball quickly. And England have just got such good ball carriers. Marley Packer, again, Amber Reid is linking well, and Amy Cokayne has just got the vision to watch her play, not panic, not overwork. She's held her channel. Ball comes back to her, and she's got a really nice run in.
Yeah, absolutely. Just going out to the far left wing there and then stretching it all the way back to the right. Just excellent play there by England. Scotland are going to have to work hard, slow the ball down and get numbers out wide.
Now, England have changed kickers. Amber Reid's got a lot of strapping on her leg, so it looks like Langi Tuima. She does this for Harlequins, so I think the pressure, though, might have just slightly got onto her. It is different when a lot of the women who are not used to playing in front of these big crowds week in, week out have to step up. Katie, I mean, you used to do this all the time for England.
Yeah, but also Langi Tuima has got a kick that is also pretty much on the touchline as well. Amy Cokayne did her no favours. So, yeah, I think, you know, she'll build into this. You'd like the ones that are kickable, but I think what we'll see is she's a very good, accomplished goal kicker.
Is number 22, Tatiana Hurd.
So there we go. Sounds like there's a change then for England. Amber Reid is off the field. Tatiana Hurd is on. So that early knock that Reid picked up has ended her game very early. Tatiana Hurd went to the World Cup with England. She'll be no stranger at all to that inside centre berth.
Take them back.
Aitchison.
Wings, put them all on.
Rolly. She's got Gallagher there. Gallagher tries to just ride out that tackle. Aldcroft determined though. Skeldon with the distribution. Rolly on the floor. McLaughlin. Marley Packer just has to be a little bit careful there. A little bit too hungry for the ball. Nelson. Skeldon. Back down the line, and you can see Meryl Smith there, happy to stand in that first receiver's position. Nelson's not available. Nice work there by the forwards, an extra couple of metres for Scotland. Belisle. Always easy to spot Belisle with that big flash of purple hair coming out the back. Aitchison.
Outside.
Right boot.
All on now.
Back there, her opposite number in Nelson. The Loughborough fly half sending it back down.
Okay.
And Jess Breach with that bright scrunchie. She's hungry for work. She's hanging out on the left wing. She's got 14 on her back though. Hunter. Quick ball from England. Nothing stays inside that ruck for very long. They want to move it as quickly as they physically can. Well, that one from Claudia McDonald. Referee's happy. Doesn't need anyone to tell her that it went backwards.
Yeah, just some excellent carries actually there from both sides. Particularly impressed by Evie Gallagher and Louise McMillan driving each other through the contact. And there's just unlucky for England there, just taking their eye off slightly. Just a bit of a loose pass, but some really, really hard carries midfield from both sides.
I think what's interesting, isn't it? We're seeing a lot of rugby in the middle of the field. It's very attritional, you know, like you've just talked about, Heather. The carries are very physical, they're hard working. And for me, I think I just like teams to be a bit smarter, you know, go pin aside in the corner and then go to defence, because what you'll find is your forwards will tire doing a lot of this where you're not really gaining anything. It's almost just a waste of energy.
Get it in 9.
Ball is in. Matheson quickly round the back. Oh, it's another big scrum from England. Oh, how did they get that out? Well done, Scotland. Ball comes towards this near side. Oh, it's knocked on in the end by McGee.
Don't play it.
Oh, they just managed to put out the fire. And then all of a sudden, a bit more fuel. England get the scrum.
Yeah, if we just see the replay in a moment there, if it comes up.
Okay. I'll be honest,
Scotland's feet were already moving and England sensed that, and they just got the secondary drive. But Evie Gallagher out the back there, absolutely outstanding at the back. Number 8, missed the World Cup, but fantastic work there. But Scotland are going to have to work hard at the scrum here, keep their feet on the ground.
Yeah, there you go, Evie Gallagher on your screen now. She missed out on the World Cup in the most heartbreaking of circumstances. She got injured in the week before they actually left. So frustrating. It was Scotland's first World Cup in a very long time. And they didn't win any of their pool games in the end, but they only lost 2 of them by 2 points. As England come away with the ball again. Tuima, Breach, McDonald. Does she fancy this? A nice step back. Oh, that's lovely by Claudia McDonald. Can she finish? She's being hunted down, but it doesn't matter. McDonald over for her second. And that is some classy running by the Exeter wing.
I mean, she has been doing this all season for Exeter Chiefs. She did it in the World Cup for England. You know, we saw that try that Abby Dow finished, but was against Australia, that Claudia started. But again, England are just playing some really nice first phase. Langi Tuima, she's taking it to the line. She's committing that Scotland winger. And then, you know, Claudia McDonald, ball in 2 hands, is not making it an easy read for Chloe Rowley. And it's just the pace to finish, isn't it? Puts that foot down and she is gone.
Absolutely outstanding. 4 tries against Fiji at the World Cup, and just showing her out and then back in. Her running lines are just outstanding, and Chloe Rowley is a fast player. Just that extra turn of pace there.
And we must never forget with Claudia McDonald, she thought at one point her rugby career was over. She was told she might never play again, and here she is, defying the medics, living her best life. Just to the left-hand side of the upright, so no extras there for England. But still, here we go again.
The other thing that's really interesting about this England try is how close to the line Holly Aitchison is playing. Because she's playing flat to the line, she's not allowing Scotland to drift, so that she's preserving that space in the wide channels for the likes of Claudia McDonald.
Come on, you Red Roses!
That's a really good point. Just slightly narrow there.
Well, Scotland have had their moments in this match, but often is the story in games for Scotland, they haven't managed to turn them into points. They've actually brought in a psychologist, Aaron Walsh, who works with the Scotland men's team to talk them through those moments and about how they actually can start finishing them off. There's going to be a regular Zoom call every week with him between Brian Eason and Rachel Markham, the captain, and that one ends up on the floor. You've got to remember with England as well, this is the first time they've played since they lost the World Cup final to England, and I think they're actually putting a few ghosts to bed. As here we go, Sarah Byrne, Kabaya. Over the top there from Nelson, but she's quickly dispatched. Aitchison, Cockayne again. They are hunting down a bonus point. Not even half an hour played here at Kingston Park. Aldcroft. Aitchison, nice then to Carson. The Scottish line has to hold here. Cabella. Packer looks up. Hunter quickly put back down. Aldcroft again. They are just taking their time, punching hole after hole. Patience is key here from England. They're not going to try and do anything silly.
Tackle!
Tuima, pass out to the far side. McDonald went over now. She'd be on for a hat-trick. Hunter. Cleo popped off to Packer. 6 meters left to travel. England hunting down a fourth try at Kingston Park. Here comes Tatiana Hurd. That's her first try for the Red Roses. Her 10th cap today. And a bonus point for England with not even 27 minutes on the clock.
Yeah, it could be a long day at the office for Scotland here. I think England, like you say, are putting some demons to bed. You know, they look accurate. They look really dominant when they've got ball in hand. That girl on your screen, Sarah Byrne, again, she fends, she runs over Louise McMillan, and once she's away, she's so difficult. But it's that next bit. She doesn't take the contact, and that's what England are doing so well. We see here, Poppy Cleal looks like she's going to throw nice at Loughlin, and all that does, it commits numerous Scotland defenders. So you've got 2 or 3, 4 players from Scotland on the ground. The rest of their team are struggling to fold, and it's a great try by Tatiana.
Big cheer there as Tatiana Hurd gets her first of the afternoon.
That's absolutely right. They're committing 2 defenders to the ball carrier, Scotland, and eventually, and they're trying to go out wide, and then they're not refolding back, as you talked about, creating the space back over.
Well, you can see there is a lot of tartan hats in the background there at that end of the crowd. Probably not so impressed to be seeing England go over again, as Simon Middleton looks a bit shocked there. Yes, Simon Middleton, you've got your bonus point up already. It's going well. Poppy Cleal, we've mentioned a few times you'd normally see her in the back row. England a little bit short at the moment at lock. Abby Ward, of course, announcing her pregnancy as England come away again, this time through Dow. Oh, huge handoff by Dow! Quick ball again, Packer arrives. Incredible low body position from Sadia Kabera as she goes into contact. Makes her so difficult to slow down. Cleo pushes to Hunter. Out on the far side, hanging out. It's that woman, McDonald. Chloe Rollie says, I don't think so. You're my extra teammate and you will stop here. Byrne on the floor. Scotland need to get a little bit more lively to this. England are running riot. Aldcroft. Packer looks up. Hurd is there. This time Cabella. And it's a penalty for England.
Tackle it in row, picture the clean out.
All eyes on to see if they'll think about taking it quickly. They're going to have a long chat about it, so that opportunity is gone. And there's no need for England to even think about kicking a penalty when you're this far up. And we get to see something that was actually highly criticised from England at the World Cup, as I look at Katie Daly-McLean, who's going to have to watch a line out and a drive.
You know what it is, Sarah? Today, given the way that England are playing and the freedom and the way they're expressing themselves, I'm more than happy to watch this.
More.
Here it comes. The heave from the Kingston Park crowd as the machine that has done England so well in many years drives towards the Scotland line. If you can't see the ball, I will tell you right now, Amy Cockayne will have it. There it is, it's just peeking out there. And it goes, and it goes, and it's down. England have 5. Cockayne has 2. And if you are an England fan, you will be be very happy watching this. If you are a Scotland fan, you will be worried.
Yeah, tough for Scotland at the moment because England have found another gear. They're using their line-out maul and they're also playing out wide in their power play, and their finishing is just absolutely excellent. Scotland going to have to find a way to slow the ball down and defensively get reorganised quicker.
I think that's going to be huge, you know, like you say, it's the speed of ball which is causing Scotland so many problems, especially when England are stretching you, because what you're not able to do is you're not able to get to width because you're so worried about your fold, trying to get players round the corner into good positions. England are just exploiting those wide channels. They're punching Zoe Aldcroft, Marley Packer, Poppy Gill, Sadia Kabea, Sarah Hunter. I mean, there's only about 3 forwards I haven't mentioned in there.
Yeah, and don't knock the line-out maul, a fantastic weapon.
Tuima then with that kick. That one's good. She's now 2 from 2 with the boots. I mean, we say not to knock it, but that was the criticism of England during the World Cup, wasn't it? That it wasn't as much variety, but when it is deployed and it is accurate, it's hard to do anything else.
And I think deploying it is absolutely right. There are circumstances where you need to go to it and you need it to operate. From my perspective, it's a look at the talent you have on the pitch. Look what we're seeing now. It is so lethal, and we haven't even really seen Abby Dow get going yet. I think it's just the mix of what England offer.
The skill set in order to do it, the accuracy and the teamwork is outstanding to do it again and again and again.
Sarah Hunter on the ball, has about half of the 5,000 tickets here. 10,000 in the ground. I reckon half of them are Sarah Hunter's, definitely. Dow to breach. Oh, well, I nearly thought she'd managed to keep her toes in there, but eventually it was good work by Fran McGee just to keep her in there. We have to remember McGee dealing with her there. She's only 19 years old.
I thought she's been phenomenal. I know that we've talked about at the beginning, like you say, first cap against the likes of Jess Breach, Abby Dow, but she has marshalled them really well. She's used that touchline to help her, and she's been really, really dominant in them tackles.
Yeah, it's interesting. She attended the Royal Conservatoire for dancing, and she definitely is not averse to a performance environment.
Advantage then to Scotland. Smith on the ball.
So that's an extra roll, no advantage, knock on in the tackle.
Well, they're going to come back then. It's going to be a Scotland scrum. And Scotland are going to have to think a little bit smart about this moment. Heather?
Yeah, and first things first, get that scrum right. The last scrum was so much better. Feet in the floor, pressure through, all 8 working together. First things first, and then launch a steady attack. Using that centre partnership, there's Meryl Smith there.
And I think for me, this is a fascinating stat there. You look there, Scotland have made double the amount of tackles that England have, but they've also missed 27. And that is huge when you look at that scoreline, because realistically, possession territory has been relatively equal.
Oh, Mattinson just gets it out in time. Smith again, Nelson there. Recycled, Smith again. Hurd brings her down. Nelson. Here comes the run then by Saracens McMillan. She's managed to lose the ball though in the contact. Kabea comes forward. Sadia Kabea. I mean, we mustn't forget that she's only 21 years old as the kick comes through from England. Is it going to be a 50-22? No. Nice try though.
That is a great decision, you know. I think Lucy Packer has grown and grown as this game has gone on. Speed of ball has been awesome, and that for me is really, really smart scrum half play. You know, you see it from Mo Hunt week in, week out at Gloucester, but there, that gets ahead up early, knows that Scotland are going to be out of position, and just tries to put it into a pocket. And I mean, that was what, maybe 30-40 centimetres from being absolutely on the money.
Forgive me, Katie, I can't remember. When you played, was 50-22 a thing?
No,
I think you just missed it.
No, I was
You'd have loved that, wouldn't you?
Honestly, that rule was made for me.
Thank you.
If it had been though, Sarah, I'm not sure it would have passed the ball as much.
Crouch! Bind! Set!
Oh, there's a knee down there on the front, so Scotland get the advantage. Smith then They've gone down that far side wing a few times with Smith's boot.
That's good advantage. Over.
That was all backwards from Scotland, so they can play on. Gallagher. They haven't been down here on the attack for a while, and they just need to tidy things up. Malcolm straightens. Mattinson. Big hits going in. An unlikely distribution there by Belisle. Mattinson calling for it this time is Bartlett, and Scotland going backwards.
That's ripped. Ripped forward by White. Yep.
Belisle again. Good support on her shoulder this time by Bristol's O'Donnell. Now this is just slow down from Scotland. It's really stodgy. They can play quicker than this. Mattinson is there. They decide to keep it in the forwards for the time being.
High tackle. Slipped up.
Well, this is an opportunity then for Scotland to get a free little bit of territory.
Yeah, just interesting playing in the centre of the pitch there. Scotland just a little bit hesitant in their ball carries. I'd just like to see a bit more direct running and the quicker support play, but an opportunity here.
I think they just need to up their pace. There was moments there where Katie Mattinson has got the ball away because there's been good presentation from their forwards that have gone past and they've cleared the breakdown. But here we see it, Rachel Malcolm, it's Zoe Allcroft again, Mackenzie Carson, double hits, and they just stop the momentum, and that means Scotland's forwards have to reload backwards rather than when we see England, they're going forward onto the ball.
Well, we're not far off the half-time whistle, and I'm sure Scotland would like something rather than 0 on the board.
More.
And that's moving in the right direction very nicely.
Through the middle.
In the end, they decide to use the backs quite early. Nelson, nice popped off ball. It was well worked round the corner. Rolly, but a little bit exposed on this outside. It's McGee. Rolly has to work on. Oh, McGee! Jess Breach drags her down. Support comes in from Dow. England survived, but again, close for Scotland. If the pitch was about a metre shorter, they'd have had a couple of tries now. And England just start jostling for that position to get this one away. Aitchison sends it straight down the middle. Nelson says thank you. Smith, socks around her ankles. Oh, she almost second-guessed herself then. Malcolm, Scotland captain, really hungry for the ball today.
She slowed it down enough. Tackle must roll, you're fine.
Another chance.
Absolutely, and Francesca McGee in the 22 there, just showing her turn of place on the outside. Excellent play, and it's just the what next for Scotland, doing something well, and then it's just what next, just back it up. It doesn't have to be outstanding, just keep the pressure on.
Thank you.
It's interesting, last year in this fixture, 38% territory for England, Scotland much greater, so again, Scotland be looking to build and get more territory.
Well, Scotland just missed their touch, so England sent it straight back.
Sorry,
and
I didn't see you, British. Thank you.
And the referee's actually going to bring Scotland back because it was pushed back down the field. They tried to go quickly to get back, but it's little moments like that, Katie, that you just can't do at this level.
No, and it's ultimately what we keep saying about Scotland, isn't it? They have so much potential. They do, like Heather said, something really well, and then they end up back in their half without taking any points.
Packer. Somebody needs to tackle her. Aitchison. Hurd. Dow. She knows that Breach is there, but there's not a lot of track left. What a wrestle there between Dow and Rolly. Hunter. Aitchison. Straight line there, nice stuff. Here comes Cleal. Great handling work by the forwards, and there's numbers there. Should Cockayne have passed that? McDonald. Tuima. Packer to Cleal. Oh, the clock's gone red. England not interested unless they can finish on a high. Comes back now, Aitchison, crossfield kick, as she put a little bit too much on it, yes. And that is the half. Well, they didn't get a 6th try, but 5 is none too shabby from England. Scotland haven't quite turned up yet to this fixture. England, they don't care about that World Cup final. It's behind them. They are ready for the new era. And they're showing what they do in the Six Nations. Half-time, England 31, Scotland 0.
A very impressive first half for England. 31-0 they lead Scotland as they go into the dressing room there with 65% possession and 593 metres made. The work England have done in that first half to Scotland's 240. They had their moments, Scotland. They had their chances. There were some unforced errors and perhaps at times their game plan just not coming off for them. Maybe their inexperience in certain areas of the pitch showing in that first half. But England with a renewed vigour and hunger. There's certainly no hangover, no emotional hangover from that defeat in the World Cup final last year. Your thoughts, Emily Scarratt, on that first half for England?
Yeah, obviously I'm stood here pretty pleased. I think it was a really impressive display. I think England showed their intent. Katie Daly-McLean said it in commentary, trying to get the ball wide, trying to play a bit more, and I think a fly half like Holly Aitchison gives you that, and then she mixes it up and plays a flat one through the middle, so she's playing really flat to the line. The speed of ball they're getting is incredibly fast, the breakdown is really clean, and it just means that life is incredibly difficult at the moment for Scotland.
And we'll go through the tries in a moment, but you know, Katie said it in commentary, didn't she? There's a time and a place for a line out and a maul, but England have decided there are other ways to score today.
Everyone loves a good line out driving maul. What's she talking about? But do you know what? It's been good to see England try different things. I mean, they were criticised quite a lot during the Rugby World Cup because of scoring a lot of tries through that line-out driving maul. But we've seen a lot of variety, and it's been great to see all the backs get a touch of the ball. I'm actually surprised that Abby Dow hasn't scored yet, to be honest. But it's good to see the variety in their play and their attack.
OK, let's go back to the very beginning. It took 7 minutes, 8 minutes for England to get off to their scoring start. But in the back row, which we talked about pre-match, really impressive in terms of the carries that those women have made.
Yeah, it's been quite significant, actually. I think the players that have really stood out really have been Marley Packer, as you would expect, and Sadia Kabay as well. You know, they've been carrying post-contact and also just trying to get behind the defence. So what people don't appreciate, when you have a really strong player cutting that really hard line there, so you've got, you know, Tuima's trying to cut that line back in, and then you've got players running behind. What that does is that narrows the Scotland defence, and it makes such an opportunity for space to be created.
And it's just the wingers working really hard as well off their wings. Both Claudia and Jess Breach have worked incredibly hard covering the field, offering those options either on the outside shoulders or the inside shoulders, which just gives you an extra attacker.
Yeah, impressive carries from those back rowers in that first half. But it wasn't all England's way early on. Scotland did get the ball in hand and they had some opportunities. You talked about the impressive Emily Orr and how you were looking forward to seeing what she could do and contribute, and she did spark Scotland to life.
Yeah, she did, and she made a fantastic line break through the middle, and Scotland were then able to generate some fantastic ball from a scrum. Nice little play, and then Emma Orr just cuts that liner back against the grain, able to, you know, keep the ball alive, that offload, and then again, as we spoke about with England, the speed of ball that they were able to generate and positive carries, that's the one that needed to go. Just that one there, that one, if we could have got wide on that occasion, Scotland probably could have walked in the corner. As it was, slightly slower ball, not able to recycle as quickly, it all gets a little bit stodgier. England are able to, you know, get themselves back in a defensive position, and then look, she's back on the ball again. It's unlucky. I think you've got to give yourself a shot there to have a reach and a try, and it's unlucky she's just a little bit short.
I think if she had your long arms, Scarratt, she would have scored. But it just highlights the sort of the first half of Scotland. There's just been missed opportunities, chances that they probably should have taken. But you probably would say the lack of experience in that back line probably is showing because they haven't got those players to make those big decisions.
Yeah, I mean, they've just, in the last few months, been given 28 professional contracts. It's going to take time, isn't it, for what you see with England, which is that speed and getting back up off the floor, getting organised, getting themselves back into position, and that back row carrying as they did, which was contributing to their second try.
Yeah, Yeah, I mean, look, again, we talk about the keenness of the England players in particular, being able to get over the game line, make those runs. And when you look at the way England are playing at the moment, they are playing flat. So we talked about Aitchison really taking that ball to the line. But again, look at the way England set themselves up. So again, I think this is sort of a clip from the first bit, actually. But England's trying to work really hard to get behind the ball and find those players out wide. So Cockayne in particular, she is hanging there out on the touchline, looking for those spaces to try and get over. But that's what makes England so good, their ability to stretch the back line.
Just got it down there.
Yeah, she did, but it's the width England have in attack. You know, there's the layers with the wingers coming out the back. You're not quite sure. You've got to defend the front line, especially when you're that close to your try line, but you've also got to be aware of the distribution out the back as well.
Now, Emily, obviously the kind of chat in the last year or so about England has been this. We talked about the line-out, more tries. That actually it's the forwards who were getting the lion's share of the tries. 2/3 of England's tries last year scored by the forwards. And was there going to be an evolution? Are we going to see more of the backs getting onto the ball? Well, I tell you what, Claudia McDonald's second try was one that, you know, anybody who loves a little bit of open play will really appreciate the way she ran this one in.
Yeah, and it's a lovely first phase try. As a back, you love the opportunity to try and score a first phase try. And it's smart by England. They tie them up in the middle. Scotland a bit guilty of getting themselves really narrow and short. But Langi Tuima just to the line. Jess Breach gives it early and she just lets Claudia McDonald go to work. And her turn of pace and that acceleration just to cut back and drive through that gap. And then, I mean, you can see the determination on her face. She's not going to be stopped from there.
A talented player and, you know, so useful for a head coach to know you've got a player you can play at scrum half, you can play on the wing. For you, where is she best used?
I think she's best on the wing. I think we saw it throughout the whole World Cup. She's a phenomenally athletic player. The power we saw driving through the defence there. I think she's best placed on the wings. You know, she works incredibly hard. She's got a hell of an engine on her. Yeah, just give her the ball and see what she can do.
Yeah, very exciting player. And then 2 more tries, including the bonus point try from Tatiana Hurd, who'd come on, of course. And England, at this point, really in their zone, aren't they? And really flying.
Yeah, again, look, you've got to think about it. As Hurd comes on for Amber Reid, who plays only 17 minutes. You can't really see her now, but she's just hanging there, ready for that first receiver. And what I love about her is her strength, her power. Look, she steps off the right foot, then off the left foot, and then to be able to hold her weight, that centre of gravity, to get over the try line is absolutely impressive. And for me, she stood out in the Rugby World Cup. I remember her getting player of the match, I think, against South Africa. And you can see why. She is a strong inside centre that can offer you so much opportunities. And again, when she's by the try line, you cannot stop her.
Again, when England are holding such width and have so many options, it means defenders often going to turn their hips, they're going to give weak shoulders. So the opportunity for really powerful players like Tatiana just to step off and challenge those inside defences is really important.
And here we go, just to remind everybody what they used to see all the time.
Yeah, do you know
but
what?
you know, as Katie said, it is a very useful tool, isn't it, to have up your armoury?
Yeah, England have this ability that they can attack and they can score in different ways. And to be able to have this line-out catch and drive is one of their strengths. And to think that they haven't got the likes of Abby Ward in that second row position really shows how strong they are and the depth that they have.
And I think what they've been able to showcase in this first half is all of the talent all the way across the field at the moment, and you can score in a variety of different ways. Backs first phase try, forwards first phase try, forwards to the middle, backs. And I think that's, as an international team, that's what you want. You want defenders looking at you, analysing you and thinking, that's tough.
And this packed Kingston Park are really being treated to some great rugby from the Red Roses in that first half. Scotland have got it all to do in the second. Let's find out the thoughts then of players from each camp. Sonia, who's with you?
Well, 2 frustrated spectators, I'm sure, because if it wasn't for injury, these two would be involved today in Mo Hunt from England and Sarah Bonner from Scotland. And I was just chatting to Mo and I said, look, what's it pleased you most about England in that first half? And the answer was very simple, wasn't it, Mo?
Yeah, for me, it's just the variation, like the variation in the attack, the way the girls are trying to run over the Scottish defence, which has been really strong in that first 40, has been really impressive. And you can see that by the tries that they've scored. They've gone driving more, they've gone down the wing with Claudia McDonald, they've tried the kick across and the crossfield kick and stuff, and it's just brilliant to see.
And Sarah, you've obviously been in dressing rooms, you've listened to Brian Eason at half-time. I just wonder, when you're this far back on the scoreboard, what's his team talk like? What sort of messages will he be giving to the team at the minute?
Look, we've come into this week as speaking to the girls like bravery. We want to just play. We've had a few pens, and instead of kick, we've opted for the corner to drive and set a platform. And I think it would just be keep going. Like defensively, we need to get off the line and kill their line speed. They're coming at us hard. If we can cut that at source, we give ourselves a bit of a chance.
And how impressed, given that, you know, Emma Orr nearly scored inches away, and you've had Fran McGee on the wing with a nice turn of pace. It's coming, isn't it?
Yeah, we're building. We've got youngsters coming through. Emma Orr in particular is an absolute sensational player. Like, she is one to watch for the future.
Good atmosphere here, Gabby. Enjoying this one.
It really is a great atmosphere. You're absolutely right. Only just under 50 miles from the Scottish border, so as you'd expect, not just England fans here, the Scotland fans as well are out in force, and they want to see performance in that second half from their side. But first of all, a chance to visit the first match of this TikTok Six Nations, which kicked off earlier today at the Cardiff Arms Park as Wales took on Ireland.
Wales have been working hard on set piece. They were good in last year's Six Nations, but you think about being in camp, being together for a year now, and it's the marginal gains that make so much difference at international level. And Wales are rumbling. They're set. They are sailing towards the try line. Advantage being played. Alice Callender, mitts on the ball. She's within touching distance, and Wales get the try. Wales are purring in the Arms Park sunshine. Fleming within a metre or so. Bevan forced to join the ruck, so she allows Lewis to pick and go. That's how close Wales are to a second try. Disrupted by Ireland, but it's gone backwards. Bevan sneaks through. Ciara Bevan gets it down. Try number 2. Wales are rumbling, and Wales are driving, and Wales are scoring. That's a good chance from Ireland, and Shorter has had to dig it out. There's Keren Lake. Oh, what a fend by the centre to her partner in crime, Hannah Jones, and she is mobbed by her teammates. The women in red are starting to click. More scuffling off the ball. Meanwhile, Tuipulotu, this time she gets over. Monaghan, head down. She's short, told so by the referee. Surely Ireland are there. Friday's over the line.
And that final try was given a big 31 points to 5 win for Wales, though. Of course, a good comeback in the second half, keeping Wales down a little bit. Give them hope, Ireland. Plenty more sport to come for you on the BBC. The WSL continues tomorrow as Chelsea head to Manchester to take on Manchester City. Join Alex Scott and the team from 12:25 for that one. Subscribe to the Rugby Union weekly podcast via BBC Sounds for all the updates throughout the week. Italy-France is live on the BBC iPlayer tomorrow at 4 o'clock, and there's plenty more Women's Six Nations action to come. Yeah, just to confirm, France kick off their campaign in Italy tomorrow, 4 o'clock on the iPlayer, that one for you. Next weekend, round 2, it's Ireland-France, 3 o'clock on Saturday, Scotland-Wales, 5 o'clock on Saturday, and then on the Sunday on BBC 2, 2:30, the Red Roses continue their campaign against Italy. OK, let's get the thoughts of Simon Middleton. Sonia's managed to catch up with him.
Simon, I'm always very impressed by this notepad that you carry around with you. I imagine in that first 40, if you just put, well done, more of the same, please.
Yeah, pretty much. The last thing we said was see if we can maintain what we're doing. Really work hard on the continuity and the tempo when the finishers come on. Keep the synergy in the performance. Yeah, really pleased with how we particularly how we've attacked, but also how we've defended. Need a bit more energy in our defence, but yeah, pretty good.
And Sarah Hunter, is she likely to play 80 minutes? No, maybe come off a bit sooner than that.
She'll definitely be off sooner than that.
OK. Thanks.
Well, the Scotland fans live in hope that they're going to see their side get over the white line in the second half. The England fans, though, are enjoying that 6-try performance in the first half, sinking a few pints.
Springtime, new beginnings, the start of a new Women's Six Nations. Meryl Smith with the duties as it sails into the Newcastle sky. Reid back inside to McDonald! And it's Claudia McDonald who goes over. Here comes Deanna Hurd! And a bonus point for England with not even 27 minutes on the clock.
I don't think I've ever seen a pint as big as that. It can't have been a pint. It must have been a Jeroboam of beer, that. Scotland, I'm sure, will have a game plan that they will try and keep England down in that second half. They don't want to be conceding 6 tries in the second half, Maggie.
Yeah, Scotland missed 32 tackles in that first half, so I expect them to really lift their defence and have that mindset, that attitude that they can take it to England, because they have to do it for the next 40 minutes.
Thank you very much. Let's head to Coventry, and I imagine there is going to be some emotion in this second half. It is the end of an era, Sarah Orchard.
Ready to go again then. Keep your eyes on the pitch. Keep your eyes on that woman, because in a moment it will be over. How many minutes is she going to be given by Simon Middleton? There's her family. Mum and Dad watching on. Colin and Janet there as well. She's also got lots of other friends and families here. Her coach from Nova Castrins is here as well, Graham Cooper. We heard earlier also from Sheila Tickle, her former head teacher. I think pretty much everyone from Sarah Hunter's life is here to witness history. Back underway in the second half. Big job here for Scotland to do. No doubt the half-time team talk would have been about, come on Scotland. It was such a bright 10 minutes. They opened that first half so well, but then the floodgates opened and everything was white. Cockayne.
Tackle.
Packer to Aitchison. Tuima. Packer. Aitchison. Hunter. This time it's Marley Packer. Once a plumber, now a full-time rugby player. Here it comes to Byrne. Aldcroft wanted it, she slightly overruns there, and Byrne does so well not to give the pass away. Carson. 3 caps for Canada, her first for England, seems to suit her so far. England have got a lot of problems at prop at the moment as they come out to another one. This time it's Byrne.
And the body, not the ball.
Hopes they might get Hannah Bottoman back before the end of the campaign. Maud Muir as well, also expected to return. Huge run by Poppy Cleall. Oh, hello Poppy Cleall. What an absolutely thumping run. And to be honest, who'd want to stand in front of that and try and stop it?
She does it so well. There's been numerous little moments of that from Poppy Cleall building up, but you know what it is? Again, it's just this interlinking play. Amy Cockayne, Poppy Cleall there. Sarah Byrne probably could have given this to Zoe Aldcroft, but actually, like you say, did a very good job to hold it. But for me, Poppy Cleall's subtlety, she doesn't get enough credit from it, you know. We see here Mackenzie Carson again, but this is the one. Absolutely great line. She's come out to in, and she's at defence just haven't seen her. And for me, it's a great, I suppose, tactic, but also just how clever Poppy Cleall is.
That is absolutely an outstanding line. If any young girl is watching today, that's exactly what you do. Flexible at 5, 6 across the back row, but outstanding line.
Just to the edge of the uprights, but still a sizable score there that England have built up.
And this is just a better line, because you think they're going to hit Zoe Aldcroft. That's what Scotland are watching. And Poppy just comes right across the front, gives Alana Skeldon absolutely no time to react or get off the line.
I think around the breakdown, Scotland just need to be a wee bit more lively, heads up.
Smith with the restart to Cleall. We gave her the big sell, so there you go. That's what happens. Too much praise, you knock on the ball. So never mind. Sorry, Poppy. We'll talk someone else up in a minute.
The ultimate in commentator's curse, wasn't it there?
There you you go. The director's making sure everyone saw it as well.
Powerhouse at second row as well, like outstanding in the back row, but I like her in the second row, Powerhouse.
Be interesting to see how England settle their second rows and back row lineups as this tournament progresses, as more players come back from injury. But this is a Scotland scrum and a Scotland ball. Nice work off the wing there by Grant. Ball comes back then to Nelson. Nice bit of footwork there by Orr. Nelson popped off to Rolly. This is good. Mattinson. Big run comes in by the skipper, Malcolm. Now it's Smith. Nearly a stolen ball by Cockayne, and it's advantage now to Scotland. Nelson crossfield special. Can Grant get onto it? It's aerial. It's McDonald who gathers.
No advantage.
Right, they're just going to come back. I still don't think they've heard the whistle. Well, it was Amy Cockayne that just touched the ball there.
Good.
I think everyone was a bit nervous there as the referee was just touching her pocket. But Amy Cockayne was going for the ball, so it will be a scrum for Scotland. Good position.
Yeah, fantastic position and a really, really positive off that scrum there. Corinne Grant taking it well and then... Yeah. Another opportunity in the 22, Scotland be looking to convert.
We talked a lot in the build-up to this about those Scotland contracts. Worth remembering as well, the likes of Rona Lloyd, Shona Campbell, Lisa Thompson. They've also opted not to play 15s. They're currently playing with Team GB in the 7s. Oh, huge scrum from England. Enormous.
Not scrumming straight.
Soon as Scotland find themselves in a good position like that, England just turn on the start.
And I think for me, when you look at how useful your set piece is, we talk about it in attack terms, but for me, that's when it comes to life in defence. You potentially look like you're under a little bit of pressure in your 22, and you've got a scrum that can march, in this case, Scotland back. And now Scotland are back in their half, England have a line out. They're going forward, good momentum. You can see Poppy Cleal, Marley Packer in the back line. Just it's really, really difficult for Scotland to get a foothold in this game.
Yeah, it's interesting we're talking there about the knock-on from Poppy Cleal after scoring a try. And for me, that was the second row getting that scrum penalty. The power there coming from Alcott. If you saw them, they were totally connected right through to the end. So sometimes we focus on the front row, but scrummaging very much if your second row are producing that. That's outstanding. Scotland, again, are going to have to deal with it. It's sort of intermittent with Scotland at the scrum at the moment.
Just a little bit of treatment there to Christine Bilal, of course. One of many players from Scotland to play in the Premier 15s now. The league is taking a little bit of a break at the moment, but it will resume on the 13th of May. Exeter and Gloucester already confirmed those places in the playoffs at the moment. The chasing pack behind them, Saracens, Bristol, Harlequins.
Come on over.
I think Worcester still might be in with a little bit of a shot, but highly unlikely as we get ready to go again.
Sorry guys, come on over. Thank you. Okay, time back on.
And if you do want to play a bit of rugby in the northeast, as that ball is just messed up. Katie Daly-McLean, you are the expert, the Geordie girl. If anyone's in the local area, Novos is the big club. We talked about it a lot with Sarah Hunter and Novocastrians. Where do people go and get their rugby?
Yeah, Novocastrians have got a lot of history in here, you know. There's a lot of big names, Susie Appleby, Claire Frost. I played there, Sarah Hunter played there, Tamara Taylor. The list is endless. So I think, you know, there's not going to be an EP's, a Premiership side in the northeast at the moment. But obviously when you look at this crowd here today, this crowd is absolutely buzzing it. It's full. And I think Northeast Rugby is really important, but there's some very, very good sides. Bishop Auckland is another one as well. So it's a very good place to come and play your rugby.
Scotland with the ball. Nelson with enough time there just to think about her options. Oh, what a great take there by Dow. And then she's in another arm wrestle with Chloe Rolly. And it was Rolly who really came away with that. McGee thinks she can fly away down the near side. Really nice work there between Gallagher and Malcolm. Smith. She knew they were running out of numbers there. Back then. McMillan on the ball. Mattinson. Oh, lost ball. Allcroft all over that. It spits up to Scotland though. Mattinson, quick pass away. Oh. Sarah Hunter with the steal for England. Back down the field from Aitchison. Nelson. Oh, she is going to get munched by Tuima. This England defence just wants more. They don't want to give Scotland anything. Hunter with the tackle. You can tell she's revving up.
Use that blue. Tightening.
Huge charge down there by Cleal. And England back on the ball. It was so slow from Scotland in the end, and England read that to perfection. Hurd pushes towards the far side. Breach.
Push back.
Aldcroft. Aitchison decides to go herself. Rare mistake there by the England attack. Gives the ball back to Scotland. Bilal. And they're trying to get this one out. They need to exit here, Scotland. Aitchison on the halfway. She's got numbers there. McDonald. Oh, she's handing off too easily there, McDonald. Incredible upper body strength. Aldcroft still going. Not caught on the first occasion, and these missed tackles from Scotland just costing them. Hurd, nice pass away to Dow. Still Abby Dow. Pass then in the end. Look at the strength from Sadia Kabaya. That was pure power, pure skill from a woman who is only 21 years old. Just her 9th cap today. And England, 7 tries on the board.
Yeah, I mean, again, made by Abby Dow, but it's England's interplay that is causing Scotland so many problems. You know, just the offloading out the tackle, the dominance of the line breaks. Once they're in behind, they don't want to settle, they don't want to go to ground. Abby Dow fights to get her hands free. And like you say, Sadia Kabaya looks like she's been out there for 50 caps.
Yeah, really outstanding. Just the line she had just right on Dow's shoulder, and the power there. Evie Gallagher, strong player as well, and that's real power.
"24-year-old Langi Tuima comes from good rugby stock, does Tuima. Big rugby family. She slots that one over for 3 from 6. Her brother Russ plays at Exeter. Her cousin's Joe Thokin, a singer. A pretty famous uncle as well. But the narrative is all going to be about Scotland. They've got the contracts, but they just need to start upping the performances. They need the points on the board. Couple of changes then. You can see coming off the field in front of you, Lindsay O'Donnell. Sorry, Corinne Grant coming off. On in her place is Liz Musgrove. You can also see coming off in the front row, Christine Bilal is. Eliane Clark is on.
Is number 18, Eliane Clark, and number 23, Liz Musgrove.
Spun out to the far side, then from Scotland, Nelson. Smith. On the halfway line, Nelson. That one went forward, and as soon as Scotland think they're getting something, everything changes.
1, 2, and 3.
Well, this is changes then in the front row for England.
Number 1, Mackenzie Carson. Number 2,
good shift from the front row so far, but a couple of debutantes coming on there.
16,
As Sarah Byrne just makes her way off. Mackenzie Carson there also making her off the field, but we get to see Liz Craik make her debut, the Wasps captain. She's 28 years old. She's had to bide her time for this moment. Also Kelsey Clifford of Saracens. But a big moment for them as they pack down with Lark Davis.
Yeah, it's huge, and you know, both have gone extremely well in the Premiership, and for me it's the beauty of the Premiership. You know, we don't have many pathways anymore, no England A or Academy, so this is a great opportunity for those girls to see the difference in League Rugby to international and to really make that step up.
Changes in the front row, but that England scrum is holding, and Sarah Hunter doing exactly what she does, holding it at the base. It is such a hard technique. She's one of the world's best. When she started out, she worked really hard on this with Graham Smith.
Stay on, Sivan.
And it's still going. I think Katie Daly-McLean wanted them to do that all the way to the try line. Not to be. Ball knocked on.
I'm ready for a Sarah Hunter try, so if that's how it comes about, I'm happy for that.
Maybe a little bit up, but not standing up for me.
So
and they stayed straight.
Yeah, interesting there, Sarah Hunter just checking why that wasn't a penalty. So they said they stayed straight.
2 and 9.
It's a skill, that too.
Well, Jodie Retty coming on then. Also new scrum half and Mary McDonald as well. Well, McDonald straight in then for a scrum. Plays her rugby down at Exeter, Glasgow born.
Okay, time back on. Coach! Bind! Set!
Well, that one just down on this near side. No real issue there from our referee, Amy Barrett-Theron.
Both of you sit higher, elbow up.
She seems happy enough. Heather, how hard is it when all these changes are being made for these two packs just to settle themselves?
There is always a period, it's just sussing out. It's like playing tennis, there's different opponents, different styles. So, and especially when it's not a whole front row change. Scotland still have Leah Bartlett on there, so it's just settling things down.
England need to be careful they weren't pushing too soon there. Eventually the ball is in from Scotland. That's really nicely done. Nelson finally forces England to turn, takes that precious time away from the ball, down this near side from Dow. Nelson just taking her time over that kick there, just giving England that extra time. Aitchison.
Inside.
It's going to go out on this near side.
She was inside.
She was inside of the 22. They're happy with that. So it's going to be a Scotland lineup back inside of their own half.
And that for me is the change in the women's game that we're starting to see. Generally you'd see one kick and probably a pass and a counter-attack. Now, because we're getting a lot more competent kickers across the back line, England especially are happy to play a bit of kick tennis because it gives them ball or gives them an opportunity to defend deep inside Scotland's half.
Retty with a nice ball in, then she comes around for more work. University of Edinburgh's Meryl Smith. Nelson having to go into heavy traffic. Get to see a bit of time on the ball for Musgrove. Penalty for England.
Holding on. Strong position and lifting.
This English defence has been impressive. We're just waiting for Aitchison to clear this one down the near side. There's a lot of eyes at the moment focusing on the fact that it looks like Kath O'Donnell is about to come on the field, and there's a lot of thinking that Kath O'Donnell will come into the second row and it could be Poppy Cleall that moves to 8.
All the way open.
She's still there at the moment, everyone. She's still there. Enjoy it.
More.
Here comes the heave.
Over.
Well, the cogs are turning. It's well oiled. It's still moving. It's close. It's over. It's Marley Packer who scores it. 8 tries. They're coming from everywhere. This is just an absolute exhibition match now for England. I'm not really quite sure what Scotland can do at this point, Heather.
I think what's really fascinating is how England are utilising their skill set. And like we say, it's been a bit of a kind of a choppy second half, hasn't, not very accurate. And they just know they have this in their bank, don't they? And it must be very hard if you're Scotland now. What do you do to stop this?
Yeah, I just think it's about territory and, again, backing one good thing up with another good thing. And, again, defence. England are really causing problems on Scotland's left flank. Tuima and Breach are really closing the door, and Scotland are really finding it hard to get any gain down that left wing. But I think just playing more territory and pressurising England more.
Tuima with the opportunity to take this to the half century. Not quite.
Yep.
Okay. Kath O'Donnell is coming onto the field. Right then. Sarah Hunter's rugby career is over. Kingston Park rises, English rugby rises, the whole rugby family rises to recognise one of the greats. 16 years, 141 caps. Sarah Hunter, thank you. A few words from you, Katie. Tears in your eyes.
I really do. You could not ask for any more for a legend of our game. We use this word all the time, but it's not about her rugby ability. It's about the person. It's about the testament and how much she epitomises what it means to be a Red Rose. If any young girl needs to know that, Google Sarah Hunter.
Google Katie Daly-McLean as well. She's very lucky to have a friend like you. Well done, Sarah Hunter. Absolutely fantastic.
What a shift. It's going to be some party in Newcastle tonight, that's all I can say.
You did well to pull out of
it. If you want to go to where to go, just follow that woman. It'll be huge.
Aren't you staying in Newcastle tonight?
I am, but I'm staying here for the under-20s game afterwards, Katie, which I would urge any of you to go and watch. You can find it.
Crouch!
Very poignant there, the Marley Packer just behind Sarah Hunter there. She will now captain England throughout the rest of this Six Nations campaign. A huge moment for her as well. But what have Scotland left in this last 20 minutes? Apologies if you heard any fruity language coming across our referee's microphone there, as Scotland just drive forward once again. McDonald goes digging, Nelson. Smith with the pass. Rolly, strong tackle coming in by McDonald. There's a few McDonalds now, one for Scotland, one for England. Here's Mary McDonald. Nice little bit of footwork by Nelson, just to give herself a little bit more time. They just need a little bit of going through the phases here, Scotland, but they need to find the holes. And again, the same old story for Scotland. Time on the ball, but nothing coming.
I think what's going to be interesting now and what we're seeing is England's dominance, but a lot of that is about their physicality. And we've got to remember that England have been full-time contract since 2019. So I think what we will see is as we build to 2025, teams like Scotland, teams like Wales, all the other nations start to catch that up, because Brian Easton talks about in his interviews their time for rest, their time for recovery, the time to spend good, hard graft in the gym where you're going to get a bit more size, you're going to get a bit more speed. I think that will then start to close the gaps, because we know there's some really talented rugby players. Emma Orr is having a storm with the line she's hitting, but for me it's just a little bit about this physicality, because they're just not winning the gain line.
Absolutely, and just like growing the talent and playing more high-intensity matches. With WXV coming in October this year, I think Scotland will benefit hugely from that. There's 3 tiers, so it'll be interesting to see the Six Nations positioning does count at the end which tier you go into, so that's something to really look forward to.
Yeah, if anyone hasn't heard of WXV just yet, it's a new global competition brought in by World Rugby, where the best teams in the world will play off every year. There's going to be 3 levels of the competition, and whoever finishes in the top 3 of the Six Nations get to go into what's called WXV1. There'll be a little bit more about that as this Six Nations continues, but it is just a little bit extra that all these teams are now playing for as places in that competition.
Crouch!
Well, Ella Virvas is on as well, making her debut, the Saracen scrum half. Virvas manages to find Aitchison down the line. Here comes Breach. Nice back inside to McDonald. Working well together, the 2 wings.
Players on the way down.
Virvas happy to keep on pushing down this near side as Emma Singh, only her 3rd cap today, comes away with the ball. Aitchison still standing very flat whenever she is on that ball. Tuima. Oh, was that a little bit of crossing in the field? Referee happy for now.
Sorry.
Pushed out towards the far side. Kabir on it once again. Hurd also heavily involved. They're going from coast to coast here, England, but they are getting the meters in between.
Clearly off your feet to win that ball.
Virvas wanted to go quickly,
You
not allowed
so
to.
well, and then you ran it all the way over there.
And if you are going to go quickly, it is better to do it in front of the referee than behind.
Yeah, it's one of those I think somewhere like Leanne Infante is very good at. She's constantly trying to get the referee's eye, just so the referee knows she wants to go quickly.
A little bit of a mistake there as the ball nearly went out of play.
So it's touch, yeah.
Has eventually gone into touch.
England Rugby would like to thank all 10,053 fans who have attended today's game between England and Scotland. It's great.
Well, they've just put the attendance up on the screen. It was a sellout here at Kingston Park. 10,053 packed in here. Of course, England building towards that big match at Twickenham on the final day of the campaign against France. They'll be hoping that they will be trying to win the Six Nations, go for the Grand Slam in front of a record crowd. That has been given, and it's Packer again. 9 tries. The procession continues.
Yeah, England's kicking game there, just putting Scotland under even more pressure, and then the driving maul there, Packer finishing it off. So yeah, really impressed by England's kicking game, keeping the pressure on today.
And I think England are just mixing up, and probably what they've done really well is the changes. You know, there's some new cuts in there. You've got a new front row. They've just seamlessly fitted into how England are playing, and speaking to some of the staff, that they've done a lot of work that week and making sure that the new girls coming in, because you're missing the likes of Abby Ward, Vicky Cornborough, who are stalwarts of that English pack, just to make sure those girls are on script and know exactly what's coming in. And for me, it's been seamless.
Yeah, it was interesting there, they took a short one. It wasn't high up, it was just a short and straight into the maul. So again, good variety there.
Oh, you probably just didn't quite get the edge of that, but not quite over there by Tuima. She shaved the post a couple of times now, but England over 50. Damage limitation now from Scotland, and the big issue here is England. They have so much depth when it comes to their players. I spoke to Simon Milton in the build-up to this match. He said when it comes to props in particular, he's got 3 debutants out there today. And he said, look, we're down to the bare bones, but they're good bones.
They're very good bones, absolutely. They're Mackenzie Carson slotted in absolutely perfectly. And Liz Creek and Kelsey Clifford doing a superb job as well.
Poppy Field as well to hold on to that.
Substitution for
Vivas to Kubaya.
Rachel Malcolm is number 20. Amy Sinclair.
Aitchison, she's got a really good communication there with Hurd. Pushed out in the end to Singh. Always look at Emma Singh. She's got lovely long levers just to get her that big stride.
Superb
huge wingspan as well. Tuima with the show and go, that was nice. Vivas pushes now. Their tails are so up now. This time Kubera again. Hard work comes in the end by the Scotland defenders. Here we go through Clifford. O'Donnell, frequently called by the England head coach Simon Middleton as England's in four so far. Sealed delivery, not quite finished yet. Oh, there it is.
Knock on before she scored. Okay, happy.
Are they going to give it?
No try, knock on.
No, oh, I had my hands in the air. It was a great bit of vision from Holly Aitchison. I thought Emma Singh had just done enough to kind of tiptoe that line, which she has done. I think they're going to review it for a knock-on.
Who's down at the back there?
Not sure if Amy Barrett-Theron is going to look at this again. Or we're actually waiting for someone who's down injured on the other end of the field at the moment. So they're just going to take a moment, a few running repairs to a few players. Looks like it is Poppy Clear who's down injured there at the moment. And if looks like Poppy Clear is going to have to go off the field. And that's a big injury for England. I mean, it sounds a crazy thing to say for a team who are 53-0 up, but second row, again, is a position where they've got a lot of injuries.
Yeah, Heather touched on it. You know, Poppy Clear is one of those players that has the ability, like you say, to play across the back row. And realistically, when England have been short of different positions, Poppy Clear has generally stepped up. She's gone into the second row. She's played 8. She's played at 6. And like you said, Sarah, England are short in that. Abby Ward's not available. You know, Kath O'Donnell's coming back. You've potentially got Moena Talling in that mix there. But I think for me, Poppy has been very much the key in that group, and she kind of almost the glue that holds them together.
She always gives them that extra momentum. It's just a real powerhouse. And Sadia Kabea as well, down that left flank there. I was reading that she was under 18 hammer thrower, and she's just a real powerhouse athletics-wise.
So England have used all of their replacements, so they can't bring anyone on. So they're going to see this one out with 14. They'll just see that as a challenge.
Yeah, no doubt they will have practiced it, training it at some point. And I think what will be interesting is scrum time, isn't it? You know, England have really gone to work on Scotland's scrum, and now with kind of only 7, will that balance that out for Scotland?
Let's see what happens here.
Well, that one's just collapsed down inside itself. We've talked a lot about England injuries, but Scotland have a few as well. The likes of Emma Wassell, Sarah Bonner, Sarah Law, Lisa Coburn, Molly Wright, Jenny Maxwell. There's a lot.
Absolutely. Don't forget Jade Conkle-Roberts, who hopefully will be on their way back as well, and a couple of retirements as well. So absolutely they've had that to deal with as well. But I think as well that's good experience for everyone, and you expect that post-World Cup as well.
Yeah, the likes of Megan Gaffney, Hannah Smith have now retired.
Best wishes to them both.
Well, Scotland do come away with it. Hard yards coming in by Evie Gallagher. Spinning work by McMillan. Nothing is going to be blue. Vivas wanted that ball. She was thinking about taking it quickly. Marley Packard just making sure everyone knows that they are singing from the same song sheet. As Aitchison gets the ball off the field. We're talking about Marley Packard there as a captain.
Serve one.
How do you think she's going to go? Very different style to what Sarah Hunt will have done. You smile as I say that.
Yeah. If you've got a spectrum, you've got Sarah Hunt on one side and Marley Packer right on the opposite. I think the beauty for Marley is she's got 90 caps now, you know, and she's really grown into it. She has a lot of respect of that playing group because you know what, Marley will put a body where nobody else will, and that is the type of captain. So I think for me, it's a really good decision by Simon.
Well, they're a player down, but does it matter? Nope. That is a hat-trick for Marley Packer in the second half. I think she has scored that hat-trick in less than 10 minutes. Well, I'd call a captain fantastic, but I think for the day that title belongs to someone else. But still, that is 10 tries for England.
Yeah, she did exactly the same last year at the Dam. She got a hat-trick last year and was player of the match. 23 tackles, 16 carries, and just doing exactly the same today. Up at 18 carries today.
And it's interesting, isn't it? Because that's very much a pack try header. You'll know that maybe one person gets the glory, but that is hours and hours of work as a group.
Yeah, we referred to it earlier. It's the skill set. It is a skill.
Stay sharp until the end. 12.
Packer just looking on. If she does continue in this role, huge responsibility for whoever is England captain building up to that 2025 Rugby World Cup. Hosted by England, of course. But of course, they've got to wait for a new head coach to come in as well.
Tackle.
Stolen ball here by Scotland. Was this their chance? Huge tackle there. Just prevented any chance of getting that clean offload.
And it's hard for Scotland, isn't it? When you're just not getting as much possession, as soon as you do, you want the magic moment. And I think that's where, as a group, you need your leaders just to say, right, when we get possession, we just need to keep possession. Don't force it, let's just take a breath with it.
That's exactly it. They're forcing it just there. And I think the more games Emma Orr plays, I mean, it's just incredible. Just, you know, it's such a talent. And the more she plays, the more she goes when to do things. It's amazing there as well. You see Marley Packer urging her team on. She wants more. She's just scored three tries and she wants more.
She is a hungry, hungry woman, Marley Packer.
Easy, easy, easy.
It's Liz Craik you saw packing down a loose head there for England. She's actually a dentist. And apparently she does remind all of her WASP teammates all the time to wear the gum shield. Would urge everyone out there to wear one if you are playing. Apparently she's the go-to dentist. She says that her iPhone is filled up with pictures of players' teeth because they just want her to do sort of like online check-ins.
That has got to be the perk of having an extra skill set, isn't it?
Steady.
Ball stolen away there by Packer, not interested in keeping it in. Hurd. Vivas. Aitchison. Big pass coming out wide. Singer with the final one. Finds Breach. Breach has been well marked out on that wing today. They haven't given her an inch at all. O'Donnell. Aitchison finds Hurd again, and they are stretching Scotland so much here. It's Tuima who straightens, but Davis just about makes sure it's not crossing.
Easy, 16.
Better defensive set there by Scotland, just managing to make England work hard for this. Big hit there on Vivas.
Square up, P7.
Well, England have seen enough of that. They try and get it away, and that's knocked on by Scotland. And I think that moment right there just sums up Scotland's day.
It was really encouraging there. That was Rachel McLaughlin at the breakdown there, really putting England under pressure. So Scotland just need to do more of that.
Well,
but yeah, tough for McGee there.
And Scotland, of course, next week they're going to be welcoming Wales up to the Damhealth Stadium in Edinburgh. Wales are really going to have their tails up after a big win for them against Ireland today. But Scotland do have good fixtures in this Six Nations.
Yeah, they've got 3 home fixtures, Wales, Italy and Ireland, and they lost to them all by 7 points or less last Six Nations, so they'll be just really determined to turn those into wins. So excellent opportunity next week.
Time back on.
Well, next week, England, they'll be taking on Italy. That one played at Franklin's Gardens down in Northampton. Virvas to Hurd. Aitchison. Oh, Breach did not see that coming straight into her face.
Body, not the ball.
Wonderful work at the breakdown, but referee says no.
Hands in the row.
Davis. Aitchison. Clifford. And Tatiana Hurd is just refusing to be tackled on every occasion. O'Donnell. Virvas looks for it. Oh, Marley Packer juggles with the ball, it goes forwards. Scotland need to get out of here, and is this the way to do it? It's Beth Blakelock on debut, running away down the park. Eventually support does arrive.
You can't play this from off.
Could Scotland think about going quickly again? No. Beth Blakelock there of Harlequins. Almost surprised herself.
Yeah, she was. I watched her in training on Wednesday because I hadn't seen much of her before, and absolute direct runner. So really, really good to see there. And Eva Donaldson, good support. Only in her second cap. First cap for Blakelock today.
Yeah, so Beth as well was originally a bit of a centre and is a 10, played at Darlington Marden Park, but you see that the short line just splits defenders, and just the way that they're looking for the support, and it's great to see that Scotland are still in this fight.
Qualifies for Scotland through her mother from Paisley, so she'll be immensely proud of her today.
Retty finds Donaldson. This is a nice set from Scotland. Remember, England are playing with 14 on the field. They'd used up all their substitutes by the time Poppy Clear went off injured. Five and a half minutes for Scotland to get something on the board. Oh, they made an early run there. They've lost a little bit of momentum. Here comes Rolly. Through the hands, Blakelock. Musgrove, I'm not sure if she was expecting that ball. Was she the intended target? Scotland still have it. Big hits going in this time on Elian Clark. Goes towards the far side, still going through Rolly, still Chloe Rolly, Scotland will score! They finally find space. It's taken 74 minutes, but that will give them something to build from as they head into the rest of this Six Nations campaign. They finally bust through the dam.
Absolutely, it's some absolutely excellent build-up player there. Mary McDonald controlling things, Nelson, and there Chloe, absolutely fantastic feat. She scored against England in this fixture last year as well at the Dam, and just great that to get one. She missed, got injured against Australia in the World Cup, missed out against New Zealand, so just great to see her back and dancing around defences like that.
And it's just it's one missed tackle. You know, England haven't missed many tackles today, but Chloe Rolly, we know how evasive she is. Ella Vivas has got herself in the line, and she's just gone a little bit high, and Chloe Rolly's got that big fend to her chest, and has taken her try really, really well.
Yeah, she can just change direction just so quickly.
Loughborough's Helen Nelson. And that's good. Again, confidence for Nelson as well with the boot.
Successful Scotland kick by number 10, Helen Nelson. Score is England 58.
And you have to say, the way that Scotland opened this fixture, you felt that they had more than a try in them.
Great to see finishing strong. Another 4 minutes, same again.
You could be a captain with that kind of a team talk, Heather Lockhart, couldn't you? Same again. Here they come. They want more. Donaldson places back. This time they come forward through Sinclair. McDonald to Nelson. Pass from Blacklock, far side of the field. Here comes Scotland again, this time on the ball. It's a try score. Oh, she's on fire, this woman. Someone slow her down. Can she run round all of them? She's still dancing. Oh, straight over the top of it. Strong work coming in from Emma Sim.